Oh, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl.
Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator. The beginning of everything.
Welcome back, my friends.
It's showtime.
Welcome to the Brink of Sanity, episode 404. 404?
404? We're like the area code for Atlanta?
403 was ages and ages ago, so sorry about the long extended hiatus, but we needed to refresh.
Based on the show numbers, how many days we do in between shows now. So we did the last show 403 days ago.
Right, yeah. So 404 for the next one. So let's just start off because Lorenzo is always so nice to email us, and he sent this email right after the last show, which was 4 months ago. So I want to make sure I don't forget.
Can I apologize to the fans? I have not been on the show for a long, long time because I got sick, kind of sick with a love of pickleball. I joined a pickleball league and have been doing that, and it's hard to fit in pickleball, Knicks, and a third night to do this show. And so I've chosen pickleball over the fans because I am an asshole. Jay has been bitter about it, but just like every week he's like, we got to do a show. And every week I'm like, next week. And I've said next week to him for about 40 weeks now.
Mm-hmm. So pickleball is like smaller tennis.
It's like you're standing on the ping pong table. That's exactly what it kind of feels like. Yeah. So basically it's all like there's 8 million versions of a sport where like there's a ball and a racket. With this version of it, you have rackets that kind of like look like bigger ping pong rackets. The ball is kind of like a wiffle ball. There's something called the kitchen in the middle. Basically, you can't hit the ball on the fly when you're standing in the kitchen area. Basically, it just means you can't be like right at the net. It's mostly a doubles playing sport. And people young and old really like it. It's like a super popular sport now.
So who's your teammate?
So I'm in a league where you change teammates all the time. So it's not like you have one teammate, but my neighbor does it with me. But every week they put you on a different court. And so yesterday, or last night, there were 4 of us in the court and we played like 12 games, just keep switching partners, basically. It's a little like it was 2 hours. It's nice. Sometimes you are playing the same people over and over again, but every game is kind of fun.
So Lorenzo writes, hey guys.
You don't want to know more about pickleball?
I'm already sick of pickleball. I mean,
Jay, what do you like better, baseball topic or pickleball topic?
Oh, it's getting close already. I mean, God, that sucked.
Yeah, I think our fans, maybe most of our fans, maybe if we really go in on pickleball, maybe the fans will be like, oh my, Jay, how many pickleball podcasts are there?
Welcome to the Pickleball Podcast. I'm going to do a pickleback shot before I talk about pickleball.
See, now you're already into the spirit. You're working different ideas in. We could have a sponsor from a pickle company and a bourbon company for the pickleback shot. This is going really well, Jay. I think this will blow up bigger. I guarantee if we did a pickleball podcast for the next 3 weeks, it would already be more successful than Brink.
I'm pretty sure we could do a podcast on literally anything and have it be more successful than Brink. Mr. C said he started playing pickleball a couple of months ago too. So maybe Mr. C is in your pickleball league.
Yeah, pretty much everyone that plays is like, I just started playing like a couple months ago.
Maybe Mr. C was secretly your neighbor.
Maybe Mr. C and I have been playing. Maybe we're like, who knows? I don't know where Mr. C lives. Maybe he's in my pickleball league.
Mr. C
Good game last night, Mr. C.
He said it will be bigger than our Donald Trump podcast.
That would have been huge, Jay. We should have gone all in.
Yeah, we went half in.
Not enough in, apparently.
No, well, we didn't make a separate feed for it. We just tried to trick people and do an episode of Brink and say it was the Donald Trump podcast to get listeners. But it was still on the Brink feed and it was still titled the Brink podcast. So I don't know what we were thinking. We weren't even drunk while we were doing that. That was probably our worst idea. I mean,
there are many bad ideas. I saw someone pointed out the 2020. It was Trump versus Biden, a leap year, and the Niners played Kansas City. Which is that correct? That the Niners played Kansas City in 2020?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
life is just Groundhog's Day now.
Yes. We just have two presidential candidates 4 years older. We have a leap year again, which I guess that happens every 4 years, and the same Super Bowl teams. And the world is on break. Jay, have you read about the Taylor Swift stuff?
I've read some really weird conspiracies on Taylor Swift lately.
The world has lost their goddamn mind about Taylor Swift. I don't understand it.
So we have 3 Twitter accounts, and one of them's on the Knicks. One of them is the Brink one, which I've been messing with the algorithm. So now if I log into Brink, it's all either video games, music, or horror movies. So it's like perfect. And then we have a one that we just mess around with. And you had followed a whole bunch of like far right-wing conspiracy theorists. And when I go in there, it's the most insane feed. And within 3 seconds, I just see all these crazy conspiracy theories. And today apparently was Taylor Swift Day. And there was apparently she's a CIA plant. I wasn't aware of that.
Let me read this to you. So the New York Times had an article about this yesterday. I was just like in shock from reading this article. They said the Swift bashing reached Fox News in mid-January. The host, Jesse Waters, suggested the superstar was a Defense Department asset engaging in psychological warfare. He tied Taylor Swift's political voice with her boyfriend's Pfizer endorsement, and by Travis Kelce's endorsement, for the remarkable success of her Eras tour, which bolstered local economies and landed her on the cover of Time. He said, "Have you ever wondered why or how she blew up like this?" Mr. Waters wondered on air. Well, around 4 years ago, the Pentagon Psychological Operations Unit floated turning Taylor Swift into an asset during a NATO meeting.
This is a major news network who didn't realize that Taylor Swift has been super famous for about 15 years.
She was so unbelievably famous before 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It's also like, now I know Fox News is like this very right-wing news organization, and sometimes they say they really push the envelope, but floating conspiracy theories that are so goddamn out there, like this is just like...
That's InfoWars stuff.
Yeah, this is like the guy in Fox News being like, I think there are mole people that are trying to overthrow the country, or like or flat Earth. Like this is really beneath Fox News.
I thought so too, but I mean, so apparently the one I read was that her boyfriend, the football player, is a big fan of Pfizer, and so they're going to team up, and after they win the Super Bowl, which is rigged for him to win, of course, and after they win the Super Bowl, they're going to announce a Biden-Pfizer platform and sway millions of votes to have Trump lose.
Yeah, I think I read something that she was going to come out at halftime of the game and announce she's supporting Joe Biden. That was part of it. The president, have you listened that presidential candidate who's now dropped out, Vivek Ramaswamy?
Yeah.
So he made some comment basically about how I'm just paraphrasing him, like, I wonder if the Chiefs will end up in the Super Bowl. I wonder how that happened. Like, how could that happen? Like, he made it sound like, here's a quote. I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl next month, Vivek said. And I wonder if there's a major presidential endorsement coming from an artificially, culturally propped up couple this fall. It's weird. And also, he says a lot of conspiracy theories, and it's weird that he was a major candidate for the Republican Party. But like, is it weird that the team that won the Super Bowl last year made it back to the Super Bowl? The best team in the NFL made the Super Bowl, and that's part of some kind of conspiracy.
It's they were playing the long game.
They really, if you watch the Baltimore Chief game, did you used to watch that game? Did you see that play where the guy in the Ravens was diving in the end zone and the ball was knocked out an inch before the end zone?
No, I didn't see that.
It was an unbelievable defensive play that turned the game, or like really like that. Baltimore was done after. I felt like after that play, they must have had that play in so many, like the rehearsals for that one play must have been crazy. Like they're like, okay, he's got to knock it out when I'm diving into the end zone. I mean, for that to be just a fake the thing is absurd.
So this album peaked at number 5 on the U.S. Billboard Top 200 and then spent 157 weeks, the longest stay on the chart by any release in the U.S. for that decade. This is part of an article about Taylor Swift in 2006. So
She's been famous for a while. I mean,
Yes.
her fame is at new heights right now.
that was 18 years ago. She had an album that was like the longest running album of the decade.
There was also people saying that she is with Travis Kelce for his money, and Travis Kelce is rich. She can buy the actual team.
She could buy Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I mean, good on my daughter. Freaking loves her. She's a really solid as far as like role model. Like she's like very PG in terms of like her overall image and everything she does. Like it's a really solid role model for young girls.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the brain melt that it takes for people to. What crazy is this conspiracy theory has really spread. And obviously, like, it's not like everyone's believing this. It's only a small percentage of people. But, like, it's not like it was like, it seems like it's more mainstream, these crazy people, than it used to be.
Yeah.
Like, these people are really part of the people deciding the election.
I mean, I think most people are crazy now. I see all these videos where people are just filming everything. Like, I saw a couple of videos of a guy filming a girl on a first date, and then another one of a girl filming a guy on a first date. If you went on a first date and they just started live streaming, like, the date's over for me. I don't know about you, but I'm like, this is fucking weird. No.
People complain. They're like, there's the government. It's going to become a surveillance state. They're filming everything. I'm like, no. We are filming everything. The government doesn't have to. Everything that you're doing right now is on video because some other jackass near you is filming you.
It's very weird.
It is really.
I think it's so common now that people like don't even realize how weird it is because everybody's doing it. I feel like I'm in a world that went crazy and everyone is insane, and I'm walking around like, why are you filming everything? And everybody's like, this is just how normal life is. Why are you not filming everything?
There was just some story on. There's a company called Cloudflare or Cloudfire. It's some kind of some kind of tech company. And this woman worked there for like 4 or 5 months, and she was being laid off. And she knew she was getting laid off, so she live streamed the layoff online, and people were like,
I saw that. Right, I was like,
yeah, whether she's right, like my mind, like forgetting whether she's right or wrong to have been laid off. Definitely weird to live stream the layoff,
yes.
which is crazy. But like, how do you go to another job? Who's hiring this person? Who's like, yeah, I saw your video. Totally think you are the person I want at my company now. Is there anything like the amount of shit this younger generation has online or will have online? How do people get jobs?
I really don't know. I saw one where this girl got fired because she made a TikTok video of her working at Amazon and like just filmed what she was doing at Amazon. First of all, you're not allowed to film the inside of like inner workings of Amazon, so that's why she got fired. But two, it's like you're literally making a YouTube video or a TikTok or whatever, like on company time. Of course you're going to get fired.
There was a case, so it happened maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but a guy for his YouTube channel pretended his plane was crashing and like bailed from his plane, and the plane crashed. He did it like in place where no one was going to actually get hurt. But the U.S. government was like, you can't crash a plane for your YouTube channel, and the guy went to jail.
Yeah, I saw that. He jumped out of the plane with a parachute to let the plane crash into a mountain for views.
For YouTube, like for YouTube,
Yeah.
like at some point in like 2007, these guys at YouTube were like, we're going to create this thing so people can show videos of crashing planes into mountains. That's why we're doing this.
Wild.
Yeah, it's a wild world. I'll read Lorenzo's email. Sorry, Lorenzo.
He's used to it. This happens every time he writes. Hey guys, went out for dinner the other night with a bunch of parents from the kids' school group. One dad starts talking about his CPAP machine and sleep studies, and the next thing you know, every single dad either has one or is on the way there, including myself. Oh, Lorenzo joined the CPAP group. God damn it, the brink of sanity where comedy becomes reality. How are your CPAP adventures going?
I'm not going to wear the CPAP machine or get one. Jay has one. I think, Jay, if I didn't know you, I might have been more open to actually getting it and trying it out. But because I know you, I just like, I can't even, I can't get one, Jay. I'm sorry.
I've my adventures have talked you out of the CPAP.
You are like an artificial human. You can't fall asleep without the CPAP on.
Well, yeah, but that's not like going to happen to you if you use the CPAP.
Says the liar.
Well, I mean, my experience hasn't been great, but I also have that like weird form of apnea.
I don't know. I feel kind of fine in the morning. I think this whole apnea thing, I think a lot of people have it, but I think they're overdiagnosing. My theory is that like like not all of us fucking have it. I feel like I was reading like there's also like these like all these there's a Reddit group about like sleep apnea. And people will be like, "Hey, like I actually feel totally fine. My doctor claims I have it. I took a test. They says I have it, but like it doesn't seem like it's not affecting my life." And people are me like, "If you don't do it, you'll be dead by the time this day is over." Like they're like, "You have to do it." Like people are militant about the fact that you have to do this. And I know it's helped you, but you also felt like shit without it, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was getting worse and worse. I needed it.
Yeah, no, I think there's a real issue, and people are feeling like shit. But I feel like people that are like, I feel fine. I'm just snoring. Maybe it's I'm going with I'm going to see how bad sleep apnea can get for me, I guess.
So you think there's a worldwide CPAP conspiracy where they're overdiagnosing?
I think that basically these companies make a lot of money, and so they have maybe twisted who needs it and who doesn't. The line for needing it is a little. Here's my conspiracy, Jay. I'm thinking basically the line for actually needing it is like they're making it a little lower than it really is.
Okay, I mean that's a reasonable conspiracy.
I'm not denying the existence of it. I'm not denying it helped you. I'm just saying that they might be overdiagnosing it for people that don't necessarily need it, so they can make an extra couple bucks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I mean that's reasonable. Dean Mays writes, "Hey guys, was interested to hear if you had any thoughts on Elon Musk's latest appearance on Rogan. I don't know about you, but I believe Elon is a 24-karat gold fucking idiot. His statement that intensive care ventilators have done more damage to people with COVID than COVID itself, I found especially batshit insane. Of course, having spent the better part of the last 25 years in the ICU medicine, you could forgive me for having a strong opinion on Musk's brain fart. Here is a question. Is Elon Musk the most overrated intellect of the last 30 years? The guy has money and shitloads of it, but I don't buy into this idea that he's some kind of brilliant mind. He got where he is today by being given a generous start financially, and he's identified talent in various fields, but it seems to me he has also screwed over more people than he has championed on his way to where he is now. Anyway, do you have an opinion?"
Yeah, I mean, what's your opinion on him, Jay?
Yeah, it seems like he does have a good business mind, but then I see him tweet like fart jokes, and I'm like, is this guy really that smart? So I don't know. It's a mixed bag. He does seem like he's terrible to work for, and he's kind of an asshole. Probably overrated as being like this super genius.
Yeah, I don't think he's like Steve Jobs, I guess. I mean, but obviously he's brilliant in the sense, obviously he's this rich. He made a ton of money, very successful. Most people, even given like the head starts he got, don't do this. So like there's a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also the fact that he buys into like all these conspiracies, like sometimes like the shit like he buys into is a little bit out there.
Yeah.
I feel like isn't he supposed to be on the spectrum?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of his weird behaviors that like he's both intense and amazingly successful, probably partly because like he's on the spectrum and can like really focus on things. But also his kind of weird behavior is related to him being on the spectrum and overall.
Yeah.
A little overrated, I don't know. I have a question for you, Jay.
Anyway, D. Mays is an author, and you should check out his books. They're very good.
Yes. I have a question. I have a gaming question for you.
Okay. Video games
so,
or like board games?
Video games.
Okay.
It's a video game question.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a real fight I'm having with my son right now. He hopefully will not overhear me talking about this. So in our basement where I'm currently doing the show, and I guess it might be, hopefully it doesn't become a problem with the show, but it probably will. Anyway, so my kids are getting a little older. My son is 12, turning 13 later this year. My daughter's about to turn 10. And our basement was very like your basement's like a play area for the kids. And over the time we've had to take out like the toys. My kids don't play with toys that much anymore. And we're trying to make it a more like teen focused like basement.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of that basically is going to be putting in a large TV, making like my son wants to get the PS5. My daughter wants, I don't know. She also like just got a balance beam for gymnastics that's going to be down here. And we're going to change the walls from the kids' pictures to like boy stuff, like sports stuff and Taylor Swift stuff down here. But anyway, the big fight I'm having with my son is he's like he wants to get a PS5. And I'm like, sure, that's fine. And we're doing this like later in the year, like in the summer. We're gonna try to revamp the basement.
Okay.
But I'm like, okay, we'll get like a 55, 60-inch TV. They're not really even that crazy expensive right now.
Yeah.
Get the PS5 and you could play your video games in the basement. We're gonna set up a couch and all that down here. He's like, no, I want a computer monitor. I was like, well, the PS5, like that's like really to hook up a TV. He's like, nope, you could hook the PS5 up to a computer monitor. Well, the TV's bigger. Like a computer monitor, like you really don't. Computer monitors are maybe like 27 inches, 30 inches. You don't get much bigger.
Yeah.
Like we'll get you like a 55, 60-inch TV down here, so the room could be both the TV and playing your video games. He's like, no, I want a desk down here. I want a monitor, and I want to play my video games at my desk. I want a gaming setup. It's like, yeah, we're giving you the gaming setup, but can't you just do it on the TV instead of a monitor? So my question to you, Jay, is it really that much better playing a video game on a monitor than a TV?
I think it's much worse.
On a monitor?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want
Why?
it bigger so you could see stuff better? I mean, the only reason people play on monitors is they're playing computer games. Like, if you got a PlayStation, you're playing it on a TV. The only time I play a PlayStation game on the computer monitor is if I'm streaming and, you know, to play with other people or whatever. But, like, if I'm playing by myself, I'm going to play on the big TV. It's way better.
He claims a monitor is built better for video games. And so the game will operate better on the monitor as opposed to the TV.
You know, if you get a
He
really
read
good
something
TV.
online. Monitors have lower input lag. According to this, what he basically also like went online and read this to me. Monitors have a lower input lag, faster response times, and higher refresh rates than TVs. They are more responsive to allow more competitive console gaming. Now he claims his friends have told him this. Now he's read this online. Fucking obsessed with having a goddamn setup down here for his desk and computer monitor. I'm like, we don't really have room for both. Can you fucking play it on the TV?
Is this for Fortnite?
Yes, it's only for Fortnite, the one game. And as soon as we have this set up, he'll stop playing fucking Fortnite. It's just he doesn't play other games. All he plays is Fortnite, which is fine.
Here's what you do. You get the TV.
You lose my mind.
You get the TV. You get the PlayStation 5. And you ask him to play. And then you ask if he notices any input lag. And he won't, because there is none.
Okay, so you're saying get the TV, let him try it with a monitor also,
No,
and ask him if he notices.
don't. Fuck the monitor. Get the TV, hook the PlayStation up to the TV, and tell him to play it. And ask him if he notices any input lag at all. And he won't, because there is none.
He started talking about this week, and like just driving me crazy. We had a big fight about it the other night. So I'm like, this is like it's like he's basically arguing the earth is flat to me. I'm like, what the fucking, like, this is obviously, it makes more sense to have it on TV. He's losing his mind. My wife's like, he's got 2 tests tomorrow. Why would you fight with him at 9:30 at night? Now he's going to fuck up his test because you had a fight with him about this. I'm like, I didn't know what to say. She's like, you didn't know what to say? You're supposed to say, we'll talk about this later, not have a huge fight with him. I'm like, Well, that would have been better. I wish you told me ahead of time to say we'll talk about this later because I'm a fucking moron.
Yeah, no, I always play on my big TV, and it's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
the bigger the better. Like, the graphics look better. Like, it's more immersive. Like, everything's better.
Do you have the 5?
Yeah.
Okay. He says there are lags or like it doesn't play as well as his friends. They always play online.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll talk to them as he's playing. But I think it's because the 4 is just slower, right?
I think the four is slower. Is he playing with people who are also on PlayStation?
I'm assuming, I don't know. I think they're all playing on PlayStation.
Because it's cross-platform, and you're not going to play as good on a controller as somebody with a mouse. You have way more accurate control on a mouse.
Oh, don't tell him that because then like he'll be like, I need to play on a mouse.
Yeah. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
like maybe he's just playing with people who are on a PC and they're always going to beat console players.
Okay, this has to be a giant secret, basically, because he claims his friends have this set up with the playing on the monitor.
Go with
PS4
is slower.
Yeah, we also had he's like this lag time. Our internet sucks, so I had to basically get an internet extender to extend our Wi-Fi. He said it's been better. I don't know what the fuck's happening in this game that most of the time I hear him in the game, him and his friends are making jokes and they don't seem like it's the most competitive game to begin with.
I think you just have to tell him that get good.
Yeah, I
He'll know what that means. And he'll throw a fit.
He's driving me fucking crazy about this goddamn monitor versus TV.
Look him in the eye and say, "Get good."
Yeah. Don't you dare! I was gonna say, Jay, could you be the expert that tells him that the TV's better than the monitor? But then you might say the whole thing about the mouse. So I don't want you talking to him.
I mean, I could leave that out. I could tell him get good if you want.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the last thing a gamer wants to hear.
I don't understand on Fortnite watching them play. There's no winning. What are you winning? They're just shooting at each other. There's not
It's last man standing. So there's 100 people, and it goes until there's one guy left. So you have a 99% chance of losing every game.
Oh, is that's how it works?
Yeah, it's a battle royale.
Okay, I didn't know that. I did not know that much about the. I just know basically when he's playing, he wants to have it in his room. He's so goddamn loud when he talks to his friends on there. That I'm like, okay, you'll be next to your sister, and this will be an automatic fight every night. So I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And my wife wants the only reason my wife wants to set this up so we can be out of the living room and be in the basement because she's so loud.
I think they have teams now, but yeah, it started off as a battle royale. And
okay.
Anyway.
We got more emails, Jay. I got some news stories for you.
Yeah, Lorenzo writes, "Hey guys, back at the start of episode 303, Jay started a bit where he would name a famous trending worldwide event that millions have heard about, but Mark had no idea. The example given was the Kiki dance as part of that Drake video, but alas, Mark was aware of it. Do you have any ones today for Mark?"
What do you think is going on in the world, basically, Jay, that trends are going on that I will not know? You're on the spot, Jay. Though I hope you read this email ahead of time.
I didn't actually.
Well, that's super helpful.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Dinks?
Dual income, no kids.
Oh wow, you're 2 for 2.
The reason I know that is that been trending. The only reason I know that because I'm into reading about finance stuff and people talk about that.
Ah, okay, all right. I really thought I was going to get you on that one because you're really bad with the what do you call it, the
acronyms.
Acronyms, yeah.
I hate them, but I am I read a lot of finance stuff also, and so people use that term a lot.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll come back next week with one for you.
Okay. Well, Jay did not beat me this week. Let's see if he can beat me next week or 404 days from now.
You got a news story?
I got some news story. I got some news stories I've been saving since we stopped doing the show. I'll hit you with a few of them if you want to do a Mark fast news segment.
Okay.
Jay, how much would you pay for an annual subscription to Applebees?
A subscription to Applebees?
Yes. So this pass, and it's real, includes $30 of food and non-alcoholic beverages per use valid 52 times for the year. And you can only use it once per 24-hour period. So basically, 52 times or like once a week, you can go there and get $30 of food, non-alcoholic items basically there for this pass.
That is a $1,560 value.
Wow, that was pretty good. The article only says 1,500. They rounded. You don't round.
I mean, I think Applebee's sucks, but if I was an Applebee's fan, I mean,
No, I'm saying you, Jay. You are a fan. Let's say Applebee's is near your apartment. How much are you gonna pay, Jay?
$200.
Okay. Did you read this article ahead of time, Jay?
No.
Okay, it's $200.
Oh. Okay.
How long do you think it would take to sell out these passes? They didn't say how many they were selling, but they were selling a lot of them. How long do you think it took Applebee's to sell out of these passes? How many people actually want an annual pass to a year-long subscription to Applebee's?
How many people want it?
Or how many passes were bought? They call it the date night pass.
I'm gonna say 5,000.
Okay, I don't actually have that number, but
Why'd
apparently
you ask?
they didn't say actually how many sold out. They just said they were sold out within minutes. They went online, minutes later, they were gone. There was such a demand, they said, for these.
I mean, if you go to Applebee's, that's a good deal.
I mean, you'd have to really like. Do you really want to go to Applebee's?
No, I
every
don't.
week?
I already told you, I think it sucks. But like, if you like Applebee's, that's, $1,500 for $200. That's like a no-brainer.
I mean, it's also like when you go there, most people are going to get a drink. They're going to spend more than $30.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably a pretty good deal for I can't believe someone's like, go to Applebee's every week for the entire year. Yeah, I'll pay for that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought that was a funny one. There's a new app, Jay. It's an exciting new app, Jay. I think you might want to get in on this. This app lets you find a public toilet to use for a small fee. You know how restaurants say you got to buy something to use our toilet?
Yeah.
Well, this app, you can find a toilet at many restaurants. And you pay a small fee, and the restaurant lets you use the app. They're like, no, you're not buying anything. No, I'm an app holder. I have the app. You pay on the app. You can go to their bathroom and take a poop in that restaurant and then walk out.
Please tell me it has a good name, like Poop Finder or something.
It really should. The company that's launching it is called Flush.
Okay. I mean, that's good.
Yeah. You think this is going to be big?
I like it. I mean, if you're in an area you've never been to before, you want to know where the bathrooms are. I like it. I would use it.
This company apparently has been valued at $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. Say I want to take like a day trip to Philly. I want to know where the toilets are. That's great.
I made that part up about $1 billion. I don't know if anyone's going to be really using this app, but apparently the restaurant can charge up to $10 to use their bathroom.
Oh, that's not as cool.
If you use the bathroom for $10, dude, you're like, I really need to make this bathroom trip like I need to like destroy their toilet for $10.
Yeah. That's completely outrageous.
Like, sir, you've been in there for a long time. I paid the $10. I'm not leaving.
So this is going to turn into a thing that only pay toilets are showing up on the. Wait, didn't you say it was
the whole
free?
thing? The whole app is supposed to be paid. The entire purpose is for people getting paid, the restaurants getting paid an extra revenue source for using their toilets.
Oh. I completely misunderstood. I hate this now. I thought it was an app to tell you where the free toilets were.
Oh, no, it's not like nothing kind.
Nothing useful.
Wonderful.
Nothing useful.
No, this is like if you want to pay a few dollars to use a toilet, instead of ordering the shrimp lo mein, you could just like for $2 you can use their toilet.
You know what I've done? I've walked into a fancy restaurant, went straight to the bathroom, and then left. Because once you're in there, what are they going to do?
I think I was in France traveling or Amsterdam. I forget where I was, but you were not allowed to do that. I went into a restaurant, immediately just like went to the bathroom, and it was like a certain single person bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
The entire time I'm going to the bathroom, the owner or the manager was pounding on the door saying, "Get the hell out."
Yeah.
That was not comfortable. I'm glad he didn't call the police.
No, it's not comfortable. What are you gonna do? Like, you got to go. They have a bathroom.
I could have been like, "Hey, I'm gonna buy something after I finish this dump."
You should.
Jay,
You
would
could
you
say
eat at a
that, and then when
restaurant?
you get out, you go, "That was just a figure of speech. Stupid."
Would you eat at a restaurant that is making money off charging for his toilet? Like they're like you have to like show at the toilet. Like no, I'm a restaurant. I'm eating at this restaurant. I get to go free. They validate your pass when you go there if you're a customer eating there.
I mean,
Like,
this is ridiculous. Going to the bathroom should be a free service. I don't care.
I mean, I can understand restaurants not wanting non-customers to use it. But
You know
like,
what?
I also feel
They
like,
say that because they don't want bums in there. It's an anti-bum rule, which I get.
yes. If you're like, hey, I paid $200 to use Applebees once a week. These bums shouldn't be using the toilets also.
It's yeah. I
Jay,
really. I went a complete 180 from loving this idea to thinking it's the worst.
Would you demand your money back from Applebee's if they allowed if they started charging for the toilets for non-customers?
First of all, I wouldn't be in an Applebee's. I lived around the corner from an Applebee's for a year when I lived in Massachusetts, and I went once.
Do you know Applebee's, one of their big strategies for growth was that like major, like if you're a restaurant, where do you try to set up your restaurant? Like what were you how do you set it up? What are you looking for in terms of location?
Well, you want a place that has a lot of traffic, easy access. So like it's more difficult if you can only get to it from one side of the street.
You want a high population area.
A high population
Basically, right?
area. If you're an Applebee's, you probably want it in an area with some businesses, so they can go for happy hour or whatever afterwards.
So one of Applebee's genius ideas apparently was we want to be in small towns where like the small towns just don't have a lot of restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
So the town itself might have 10,000 people and be in the middle itself being in the middle of nowhere, but in that town they'll be like Applebee's is a pretty good option. And apparently they set up shop in a lot of small towns, and that's really helped their growth.
That's not a bad strategy, actually.
Yeah.
You have like a recognizable name, and you're the only like chain in town. Wasn't their business strategy also adding water to all their liquor?
I mean, wasn't their business strategy making their food kind of mediocre?
Well, yeah, but like they literally got caught doing that, right?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, that's an expense. Now it's a.
I think
I mean,
they were
really...
watering down their liquor, and they were also putting like shitty liquor in expensive liquor bottles.
I'm sure they're not the only place that does that. Both those things. Also, do you really need the Applebee's crowd getting their full value on liquor?
I mean, they charge enough for it. Might as well like.
Jay, are you Native American?
I have not got my DNA test done.
Okay, I'm just assuming you're probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Not like Elizabeth Warren, the senator. So the Navajo Nation, they have certain things that are sacred to them,
mm-hmm.
and there's a company that wants to bring. They're going to this place that the Navajo Nation feels is very sacred,
mm-hmm.
and part of what they're doing is they're taking human remains, basically burying someone's remains in this place, and it's very offensive to the Navajo Nation, and they're asking the American government to step in and stop this. Do you think that all sounds? How's that sound to you?
I mean, so far it sounds reasonable.
Yeah, they should have places they're allowed to. And what would be a place that Navajo Nation? And I bet you have no idea where the Navajo Nation even is.
It's in the Midwest.
You might be right. I don't know either.
I'm just going to sound confident, so you go with it.
I have no idea. What kind of things do you think they get to claim? What they've claimed here is kind of what throws me off a little bit. Because up to this point, everything sounds normal.
Mm-hmm.
Because I imagine they have lots of things that are sacred and like,
mm-hmm.
and some things are offensive, like the white man. I mean, we've done enough offensive stuff to them, so you might want to like step off and like relax with some things.
Yeah.
So they've claimed the moon.
So they want to bury people on the moon?
It's just some private companies going to the moon, and part of it is someone has paid to have like their relative buried on the moon. Or I don't know if you really bury them person. You just throw the moon to put the remains somewhere. Who's gonna check? I don't know if you really have to like do the full work of digging that hole.
You just land to get a catapult. Just fling 'em.
No one's gonna be like, oh, you don't think I buried the person well enough? Why don't you go up there and check my work?
Yeah, go verify.
Like really, you're like a grave digger. You're like, they said to do it 6 feet deep. I'm just gonna leave the body on the ground here and just say fuck it.
I mean, honestly, this is a great business idea. You load them all up onto a plane, drop them over the ocean, and say I went to the moon.
Claim you went to the moon.
Yeah, I'm on my way to the moon right now. He's like in Tahiti, like sipping a Mai Tai.
They're like, well, where's the footage of you being on the moon? I'm sorry, I'm not the YouTube generation. We don't have to film everything.
Yeah, Wi-Fi doesn't work on the moon. I don't know if you know, but we don't have any cell phone towers on the moon. So
you didn't film yourself going to the moon? Yeah, we don't film everything. God, what the hell's wrong with you?
Sorry, I didn't get reception on my iPhone on the moon.
Yeah, I don't know, man. My iPhone wasn't working on the moon. I have to wait for the iPhone, the moon iPhone. Sorry, I can't put that on TikTok for you. Anyway, your dead relatives are on the moon. Go check for yourself, jackass.
They're definitely not in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, so don't check there.
Anyway, so they've asked don't bury a body on the moon. And I'm just like, you want to claim some giant rock or mountain somewhere? That's cool. I don't know if you get to claim the moon.
Maybe we should just stop burying people.
What are you going to eat them?
No,
What are you
cremation.
doing with them? Yeah, okay.
Like, how much space are we going to have on the earth filled with dead bodies? Like, just cremate people.
George Carlin had a whole bit about like these, like, you know where we put the homeless people? Golf courses and cemeteries. Just put them all there. Unused space.
Yeah, plenty of room.
Yeah. Like there's plenty of room. Just put everyone there. Should be fine. He's like, what's he had this whole bit about like what's our obsession with kind of what you're saying, like burying our dead people. Like what the fuck? They're dead.
I think it's weird. Yeah.
So you're gonna be cremated?
Yeah.
Do you have to be dead to be cremated?
I'm not sure. I think it's a little self-centered to think like, yeah, put me over here so you can come visit me, because that's what you want to do with your free time. People.
Yeah, I don't know. But I've instructed my wife in my will to put to set up a mausoleum outside your apartment. That's where my body's gonna be buried. There's not gonna be any way to get inside the mausoleum, and it's gonna play loud music at 3 a.m. just to make your experience better.
It'll make me feel like I'm in my last apartment.
Yeah. It's gonna be like mariachi band.
At least I'll be able to do Brink whenever I want.
There you go. Yeah. So anyway, you are not. What do you like better so far? Do you like the idea of the Flush app that charges you to use the toilet, the Navajo Nation getting the moon, or eating at Applebees every week? Which experience do you want, Jay?
I'm gonna go with Applebee's just because it's a good value for the money. Even though it's shit food, you're still getting like $7 per dollar value.
Yeah. Jay, what if I hang on for your next birthday, Jay? I'm like, happy birthday, Jay. We've known each other for a long time, doing the podcast for a while. And to honor you, Jay, I got you a gift certificate to be buried on the moon. Would you be a fan of that?
A gift certificate.
This is redeemable for one time being buried on the moon. So you better use it wisely, Jay.
I'm glad it specifies one time. For all the times my corpse might be buried.
That way, also, like, you're not going to be taking up space on Earth. They'll bury you on the moon. Your last act in your body will be offending the Native Americans. It's the way you want to go out.
Is it, do you have to pay more to be on, like, the bright side of the moon? Like how like the dark side never faces Earth, so it's kind of like you can't even see the body. Do you want to be on the
dark side? I feel like I want to be on the dark side just because, like, sounds cooler.
It does sound cool.
Like, that's probably where the aliens are.
Yeah.
Or do you want to be buried on the sun?
That's where you get cremated.
That's probably where you get cremated. Okay, would you rather, Jay, be buried on the moon or have your body dropped in the Atlantic Ocean?
Atlantic Ocean. At least I'd be feeding some kelp or something.
Do you care what happens with your body?
No.
Okay, so what if after you die, I sell your body to people who like to fuck corpses?
The necrophiliac club?
Yeah.
I don't care. What am I going to
Okay.
care? Like, I'm dead. Like, why would I care what you do with my body?
Jay, here's a gift certificate to not have your body be fucked by necrophiliacs. Or that's a weird thing to be. That's got to be a shitty thing to get. Like how do you find out you're into that? Like you're at a funeral and you're getting a hard on.
That would be a weird one. That is probably like a fetish you would never tell. Like fetishes are embarrassing in general, but that's probably one of the ones that you like really have to keep to yourself. Like I wonder if there's even like groups for that.
You tell me you're a fan. Hey, tell me you're a fan, honey. You know it would be so hot right now. So hot right now. If you were dead. I'm sure. I guess there's probably a club. There's probably like membership. There's probably like someone paying dues to their club for fucking dead people.
Inside tips. Hey, there was just an
Yeah.
accident over on I-95.
I mean, I guess like maybe you work at like a morgue.
I would think a high percentage of those people would be working at morgues.
Do you think like so if you're running a morgue and a guy working there like you catch him fucking one of the bodies, is he fired? Is that just a warning?
I mean, you got to fire them, but on the other hand, like, what damage was done?
I mean, it's against the law, but listen, I have two things going in my life: get fuck these dead bodies and that special at Applebee's. You cannot ruin this for me.
I mean, good luck getting a reference if you get caught doing that.
I know I live stream myself fucking the dead body, but you have to understand this generation we're just different.
I also live streamed it on TikTok.
Yeah. So Jay, you're a fan of Queens, right?
Queens?
Queens. Yeah, you used to live in Queens, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Not like the kings and queens will wish you like bishops too want to wish you a happy birthday. Like not the Queen of England, just Queens, the location. Are you a fan of Queens?
Yes.
Okay. I have something that there's they have a race in Jamaica, Queens that you should do.
Okay, what is that?
It is runners do 5,649 laps of an extended block in Queens. The race is 3,100 miles. The people running this race, it's 164th Street to 168th Street, I think. In Jamaica, Queens, the people running this thing have 52 days to complete it. This goes on every year. They've been since 1996, I think. They've been running this 3,000-mile race around a few blocks in Queens. People are doing it over 52 days.
3,000 divided by 50, that's 58 miles a day. Every day. How? How is that even humanly possible?
Yeah, apparently you have to complete. I think you have to complete a certain. Also, just to stay in the race, you have to do a certain. They said you have to average about 60 miles every day. I think there might be a minimum you have to complete every day to stay in the race, or you get knocked out of the race. You're going in circles, literally.
I don't even know how that's humanly possible.
And also, the race is not called off based on weather. So if it's raining, you just keep doing and obviously in 40, like a day of. If you're doing a race that takes like 52 days,
yeah, it's definitely going to rain for.
Definitely going to probably rain during that and have shitty conditions.
Yeah. That sounds like the worst experience anybody could have.
Fucking people do this voluntarily. The prize, there's not much of a prize. It's not like you become a millionaire for winning it. Your prize is like some shit prize, we didn't even know the existence of this race.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah. The all-time record, I think they said, is a guy did it in 40 days.
I always wanted
if
to
you wanna
do in my 20s.
Yeah.
There was a race called the Idiotarod, which is a take on the Iditarod, but it's four people pulling one person in a shopping cart, and you can basically pimp your shopping cart however you want, and it's like a race around like 3 different boroughs, and there's like no rules. You could sabotage other carts and do whatever the hell you want, and there's checkpoints along the way at bars to make sure you're going along the right route.
Are people trying to win the race?
Yeah.
It's not like just like there's some races where you're like the whole point is just to complete it. The part I was you had me until I found out you could sabotage each
Well,
other.
there's 3 awards. There's awards for the fastest finish. There's an award for the best decorated cart, and there's an award for the best sabotage.
All I'm picturing now is like, Jay, you've been in the goddamn cart for the last 4 hours. I need a turn. You have to push, Jay.
I just have a whip.
Yeah. Jay, are you into movements?
Bowel movements.
Yeah, just movements, like different movements. There is something called the Voluntary Human Extinction Movement. It was founded in 1991, and the goal of this movement is for the end humanity.
I mean, I've had days where I'd be all in on this.
The goal, this became popular for a little while. The idea, basically, and I only discovered this because Elon Musk tweeted about this randomly, like 2 months ago, for no fucking reason.
Oh,
It's not like
he thinks humanity is going to end anyway because people aren't having enough kids. He's been on.
Yeah,
this for months.
the birth rate is slightly down. Though it's weird with the humanity thing. Like it seems like everyone that's like the birth rate's going down where humanity's screwed is just talking about a certain color. They're like not enough white babies seems to be the big issue.
Yeah, overall, it's not happening. It's just for certain populations.
Yeah. Actually, apparently in China they like they had that whole one child thing.
Yeah.
And now they can't convince women to have babies.
They still have billions of people. I think they'll be okay.
They have billions of people. There was actually North Korea, the Korean whatever, what's his name, Kim Jong whatever.
Yeah.
He did a press conference for his people, or a conference, not press conference, like a speech where he cried. Basically, he pretended to cry, I guess, or really cried, asking people to have more kids.
I mean, there's enough traffic. We need to stop on this begging people to have more kids. I'm not even happy when I hear my friends having kids now. I'm just like, it's just more people on the train. I mean, you already had kids. That's fine.
I already have kids. Apparently, this movement, which apparently Elon just decided to like promote out of nowhere, they're like it's voluntary, but the goal is to convince enough people just to stop having kids and just like go like, hey, 70 years from now, humanity just ends. Let's all do that.
Fine with me.
Things would get really crazy. Like if everyone was like in on this, the last 30 years would be fucking insane.
It would be the purge every day.
Yeah, it really would. People would just like lose their fucking minds about everything, basically. Like nothing would work anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, like I'm not running the machine, whatever. Well, like we're all gonna be dead anyway. Who the fuck cares?
Yep.
We've all signed on for that. Don't kill people. We're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, the last 30 years would actually take place in like 4 years.
They said that if everyone's forced to eat at Applebees, this movement will happen.
Or if everybody's charged to go to the bathroom.
Yes. You got to connect all the stories. Also, Jay, there was some reason I was reading something about how the word fat is being used. I came across a thing that said the do's and don'ts when talking about obesity. Tell me, when I tell you that, Jay, do you feel like this is something you're gonna like be like, hey, this makes perfect sense to me?
Yeah.
They basically they say, for instance, you should say a person with obesity as to instead of an obese person, and don't say fat ass, though that's not actually in the article. What do you think about saying a person with obesity as opposed to saying an obese person?
Extra words for no reason.
What the fuck does it accomplish? we're really into this extra word. Like now they're like people. It's also like they say people with a homelessness, or like they're like that person's not homeless. They are a person without home or something.
Yeah, let's. People think just rearranging the words and adding a couple more like makes it sound nicer, and it's just a waste
Right.
of time.
They got rid of it's no more committing suicide. It's died by suicide because it happens to you. You didn't do it, which I guess because they're talking about mental illness. I totally understand that part, but we're changing the language into the dumbest fucking.
I've
ways.
also heard unalived.
Unalive.
Yeah, I've seen that like a few times lately.
Don't you fucking put an unalive person on the moon. Yeah. So apparently, if you get the pass, the annual pass at Applebee's, you'll become a person with obesity and a subscription.
Well, at least you get to use their bathroom for free.
Yeah, so you have to use their bathroom for free. Not like the paying members.
So it's not all. It's not all bad.
And my last story here was do you get colds, Jay? You ever get sick?
Never. Oh wait,
Okay,
yes,
well,
all the time.
no one gets sick. Do you take decongestants for when you get sick?
Yeah, I'm skeptical that they do anything, but yes.
Okay. So an article came out like this was like maybe a month or like 2 months ago. One of the main ingredients or active ingredients apparently didn't actually do anything.
So I've been right all along.
Yeah, they said there's a decongestant in many popular cold medicines that literally doesn't work.
Great. Money well spent.
Yeah, I mean there are real decongestants that actually do stuff, but apparently this is in many products, and the FDA was saying like we need to pull these products, even though this is like a huge apparently like these decongestants do like $2 billion in business. They're like a lot of them are just like completely fake, like just because this ingredient doesn't do anything, and the counter argument by industry groups is that well people really need something to like take when they get sick. We can't just pull these we cannot pull all these cold medicines or else people won't have anything to take. And the FDA is like, yeah, that's the point. Your product doesn't do anything, but the people need this decongestant. This is really like a debate going on.
It's the most insane argument.
The quote from the article, the agency or the industry agency said, if the industry source said, if the agency, the FDA, decides the decongestant should be eliminated from products, it could significantly disrupt the market for the makers of cold medicines. If they do not have enough time to replace these popular items with other items.
If you don't let us sell the thing that doesn't work, we won't have a lot of money from selling the thing that doesn't work. We can't have that.
We can't replace the thing that doesn't work with things that do work, because that would be, come on.
That's insane.
Apparently, there's something called there's phenylephrine and pseudoephedrine. I think one of them, maybe the pseudoephedrine, I don't know. One of the two of them. Apparently, it just doesn't fucking do anything. And
Awesome.
apparently, if you take it in one form, like I think if you take it like there was a way to take it where you could do something, but if you took it like via orally, basically, it does jack shit.
I also think the one that actually does work, it basically just like hides your symptoms for a few hours. It doesn't actually like make it better.
No, I think Doc was on our show, and actually he said that to me on the show that like these cold medicines don't actually do anything besides just like they mask your symptoms for a little while.
Yeah,
which is fine if you're trying to get through a workday or something.
Yeah, I mean, basically the only thing that's worthwhile is NyQuil because it makes you go to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's sleeping. Sleeping is the big thing, basically. If something helps you go to sleep, then it's worth. Nothing else really helps. But it is kind of funny how like they're like, okay, we're selling a scam, but people need the scam.
Without the scam, there won't be a scam.
Yeah, like you need the scam. Come on. So yeah, I just a lot of this stuff. I feel like there's all these trends in cold medicine. Like there was for a little while. What was the? Do you remember the Emergent C? It was like a vitamin, like a heavily vitamin C thing.
Yeah.
And they kept like it was a play on the word emergency.
I took one yesterday.
And then they had to like basically, I think they went out of business or they had to like just stop, like put a warning on it. This doesn't actually affect your cold at all.
Yeah, I mean, It's got vitamins. At least it has something.
Yeah, but they were like even the dosage of the vitamin doesn't. Your body doesn't absorb that much of the vitamin, so it literally doesn't.
Yeah, I think you pee most of it out.
Yeah, they're like, actually, the only thing it does is remove $3 from your wallet.
Great.
Okay, those are my apparently 30 minutes of stories, Jay.
All right. Well, that took an hour, so the show's over.
Perfect, Jay. You have a lot of stuff for today?
I had a few things, but we can save that for next time.
Okay, cool.
So we're back. Going to be doing shows more often if well, we'll see if Mark
Jay,
joins or not.
you should take a pickleball with me. It's great.
Okay.
Would you ever play pickleball with me, Jay?
No, only because you probably play like 2 hours from my apartment, and it's not really.
If I
worth it
came
for
to
me.
your place and was like, there's a local pickleball place in the next apartment, would you
Yes,
play?
then I would. Yes.
It's fun. It's not like it's just a fun sport.
I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying, there's like
Jay,
5
you're
people waiting on a new
anti-pickle-
Brink episode.
I'm not going to listen to your anti-pickleball podcast, Jay.
Damn it.
Jay hates pickleball.
jhatespickleball.com.
.com.
Coming February 2024. All right. thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com is our email if you want to email us. And we're Brink of Sanity on YouTube and Patreon. So thank you for listening, everybody. And I will be back soon, and Mark might be back soon.
I'll see you in 404 days.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go.
This is the end.
Say goodbye. You better go away. I'm gonna leave.